double check the computer and make sure that I can get your comments. How is everybody doing? I am a little bit crazy, and you can probably tell because I have no makeup on. I just got home from a class. I leave for Alaska in about 12 hours, and I haven't packed a thing. Hi, Janice. Good to see you, friend. But I wanted to check in and make a few little things with you. I need to make sure that that's on mute. Okay. And share a few little things with you before I go. And I was all planned to do crafting videos that I would just upload so that they would go live tomorrow and then the following Friday. But instead, I'm doing this live video and I'll send that out to my email list, and then there won't be a live video next week because I'll be on vacation. But you're still, if you're getting my emails, going to get some free tutorials both tomorrow and next week. In addition, there is a cruise special that I have to share with you that I'm very excited about. I've been saving stamp sets for quite some time so that I could do a proper special to thank you guys and while that I'm away. So first of all, did you see the product of the week was my favorite new thing? It's the Tufted embossing folder. Our new embossing folders have a positioning line. And this is kind of important because as I was making my cards on a live a couple weeks ago, and I just prepped it and showed you how to put it together, but I didn't show you the actual line. I just take this and you line it up to the line like that, and then close it and then run it through your Big Shot. Now, this is one of those thicker embossing folders, so those you only use one cutting pad, and you still follow the directions for your regular cutting pads, but you just use one pad. So I have another trick that I want to show you with these fancy new thick embossing folders. And I tried it with the Tufted folder and I didn't see a difference. So this one had been spritzed with water 2 or 3 times, and this one didn't. And you know what? With the Tufted folder, it doesn't seem to do anything different. So I'm gonna show you that in a second, but before I do, I'm gonna actually show you a sneak peek, and then we'll put things together after. But this is part of my swap for the incentive trip, and if you're going on the incentive trip, close your eyes because I'm gonna show you my swap. But what I did was, while I have the camera this way, I think it'll be easier, was I spritzed a piece of paper to do this one. And actually on the camera, it looks like this one is just as embossed, but this one is dynamically more embossed. So on the Tufted, it didn't really make a difference, but on this one, it was unbelievable. So let me show you how I did that. All I did before, and people are like, do I need to soak it? How much water should I put? Well, I use these Stampin spritzers. I think you get 2 in a package. They're in the catalog. And I sprayed it like just enough to get it like a little bit damp, and then ran it through and then lined it up at the line. Actually, for these, I didn't. I went all the way to the top of the embossing folder because I didn't want the wreath to be in the middle. I wanted it to be further towards the top. So it is a little bit saturated. I hope you can see that it's wet, but I maybe sprayed it like 4 or 5 times, but it makes a dynamic difference. In person, I don't know if you can see the difference on the video, but in person, this one is much more dynamic. So I'm gonna use this to make my last card, but with my swaps, I didn't spritz them first, and a friend of mine told me about that spritzer trick, and I was very impressed. So I'm just passing that along to you. And actually, thank you, James, for that technique. He presented at the meeting a couple of months ago, and I'm like Dory, I just remembered. So when I had to do the video today, I thought I would show you that. Okay, I have so much to do. First of all, being off to Alaska in the morning, I know that's backwards. That's okay, I'll show you in a minute. Being off to Alaska in the morning has me a little frazzled, but it also gets me pretty nostalgic. I'm very grateful. This time I am sailing with my very first downline to earn an incentive trip. Her name is Michelle. She and I have been working together 2 years, one-on-one, and she's going to be on the boat. If you're on the boat with us, please make her feel welcome. It's her first incentive trip. I want her to want every single one. I know she will. I know that everybody that goes on them is just so wonderful. And where in the world do you get the opportunity to earn your way to go on vacation with a whole bunch of friends for a week? I have, you know, my team, and then there's the training group that I belong to that I am an instructor on, and boy, I can't wait to hug every single one of them and help celebrate their accomplishments and hang out and have some fun. And one of my clients are going to play cribbage. I don't know if you guys play cribbage, but we like to play cribbage. So that is like at the forefront of my mind, and I haven't even packed the first stitch of clothing, so I better get on that. But before I do, I have a few more samples to show you with the Tufted embossing folder. And then I'm going to show you my crew swap. And then at the end, I'm going to show you this fun new card that I made that uses product that is going to go with my cruise special. So I'm going to flip the camera, try not to get dizzy, and then I might have to move around for a minute just to get set up. But it's my crazy studio. Okay, we got the table. That's a good sign. Okay. Now you can see my little Alaska postcard. Isn't it cute? I'm a little shaky here. Let's see if I can fix that. All right, so we're looking at the table. That's a good sign, and you can see my mess over here. I punched out a whole bunch of 1 1/4 inch circle punches out of the in colors, and I'll show you what those are in a minute. We were gonna talk about the Tufted embossing folder some more first. I showed this card in a live a couple of weeks ago, and it was one of my club cards. It's back probably 2 videos if you want to see how I put this together. It's very beautiful and very simple to get an awesome looking card with this folder. These 2 are swaps, so I didn't make the next 2. This one I don't even know, because there was no business card on the inside who made this one, but I think it's beautiful, and it uses the same stamp set that I used in just a different way. So I thought that that would be kind of fun to share. I was kind of digging this morning because I wanted to find different ways for you to use this. This one is by my friend Bonnie Alexander. Actually, I'm going to see her on the trip. I can't wait to give her a hug. She's a Yankees fan and I'm a Red Sox fan. You know how that goes. Go Sox. But it got me thinking about how back in the day, my dad used to have a Buick, and he had a car, and the inside of the car had this tufted pattern in fabric. But it had like these little things that I used to play with actually, and one would pop out every now and then. But this is actually just Wink Estella directly on my paper. So it's not as striking on camera as I would hoped it would be, but it's kind of cool in person, and it would be great if you were making a wedding card. These look like pearls, don't they? But it is just the chalk marker from Stampin' Up. And that's what Bonnie did too. She just used the chalk marker to make the dots, and it's a lot less expensive than using up a whole package of pearls on one card, although I am not opposed to that. I love to mac things out and bling it out, but that's a fun way to use that embossing folder. And after we talked about my crew swap, I thought that I would show it to you. So this is it, and so there is a dramatic difference. I don't know if you're really catching it. Oh yeah, there you go. So this is the one that I did for my crew swap, and then this is the one that I did after spritzing it with, you know, 3-4 little spritzes of water, and then I set it aside and let it dry. And of course, I'm using my favorite new color, Lovely Lipstick. And I'm just going to ink up and stamp the sentiment. You can tell I never use the stickers. I don't find them sticky, so I try and get it straight on my block. And then when it comes time to line up in a class or when I'm making swaps or whatever, I just line the block up straight. So it is a little curved, so hopefully I don't mess it up. Oh, it's a little messed up. Here, I did another one. That's why they make two sides here. That one wasn't as curved. Now here's another water tip. If you do something to a piece of paper that causes it to be curled, you do the exact same thing to the opposite side. So if I'd spritzed to the back as well, it would have allowed me to flatten it out a little bit so that it wouldn't have caught the edge when I went to go stamp. But this one looks pretty good, so I think we should use this one to make our project. So, nobody's gonna know if you don't paint behind the toilet. That's what I always say. I cut my butterfly out of the backing here. Hey, Monica. And then I'm going to, oh look, I had my fast fuse on the table. Oopsie. I'm still using up my share of that. Okay, so that's nice and crooked. Moving right along. Anything can happen on a live. I'll try and straighten it out later, although fuse means that it's probably hermetically sealed there forever, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. My words are crooked too, so if I put it on the base so that the words are straight, it's going to look like I was trying to be crooked on purpose. All right, here we go. So there's my... Well, nobody's going to know because it's all like right up against the back. Nobody should be able to see that. So then when I go, so if you do this, if you ever stamp your words like kind of off and then your paper's kind of off, just make the words straight on your card front, and then it's going to look like you did it like that on purpose. You like that? So I was nice and crooked. We're going to make this whole thing better by making the whole panel crooked and getting our words straight on the card base. Funky. So I'll be sure to post both of those, but how I finished it off was I just sprinkled a few pearls on top. So that is my card that I'll be swapping in Alaska in a couple of days. So those are already packed, thank God. So I packed my stamping stuff. I didn't pack any clothes yet. Nah, clothes are overrated. As long as I'm covered, everything will be good. Oh, goodness gracious. So I got this catalog in the mail, and I'm very excited. Hang on, I'm going to give you 1 second. I just want to grab some things. I wish I had an assistant that I could say, hey, I need 10 of these. Look at all of these stamp sets, the hand-delivered stamp sets. Well, I have quite a few, and I've been collecting them since the beginning of the catalog went live with my hostess benefits. So every time I placed an order, instead of putting the money back into my business, I saved them so that I could have a special for Alaska. And I will post that graphic here below my video in a few minutes. But when you spend $25 with me or more while I'm gone on vacation, I will send you 5 cards in the mail. And there'll be 5 cards with an envelope in a cello bag, kind of looking like this, you know, like, and they might be new samples, they might be older samples. I have 3 boxes full of cards ready to go so that when I get home, all I have to do is pick out things that might even match what you order and send 5 cards. If you spend $50, and you have to use the host code that I will, like I said, I'll post it. I'm going to also send you the hand-delivered stamp set. This is my absolute favorite new stamp set from the new catalog. And you can only typically get it if you spend $150 or if you host a party. So for any $50 order while I'm gone with the host code, I'm going to send you 5 cards plus the hand-delivered stamp set, which is pretty darn awesome, if you ask me. And then, bam, I opened up my Stampin' Success. And here's a cool card right on the cover using my favorite new stamp set. I used this stamp set last month, or maybe the month before, just when it first came out in Stamp Club. And we made this card. Now I gave them the option when they came to class. It was still the same supplies, but I left the stamps on the table so they could make either a congratulations card or they could make a graduation card. Some people chose to not put anything on the card and stamp a happy birthday. So there was lots and lots of options, but everybody got the same base packet. So after looking at my Stampin' Success this month, this is just a demonstrator book that you get quarterly when you become a demonstrator. And it is packed full. Oh, look, my friend Monica is in there. So it's packed full of ideas, and it teaches you how to stamp, which is pretty cool. And a lot of the tips and tricks that I get, I, absorb as much as I can. Oh, there she is. Hopefully we'll get to see Sarah this week. But this is a demonstrator-only book that you get when you sign up and continue to be a demonstrator. You get one every quarter, which I think is pretty cool. So I was very excited by that sample on the front of the book, and I made my own. And this guy, I don't know if you're catching the Winkest, oh, there it is. So Winkestella here, oh my gosh, when you watercolor with it, it is so beautiful. Her whole dress is sparkly. And I used this stamp to stamp an image multiple times to create the background here. And then you'll notice where her body and the stuff is, the balloon strings. I just covered that with the whole panel of my girl standing there. Wicked cool. But as I was playing, I also noticed that the balloon would be easily covered with a 1 1/4 inch circle punch. So I thought about it. Oh, look, see, you can see I was playing a lot. This has some stamps on it that look like that. But as I was playing, I came up with the idea for another card that I thought that we would make together now. So I'm going to start with my Memento ink pad. Now this is actually 3 by 5.5, so it goes the whole length of the card. And I thought it would be kind of fun to put it on with lovely lipstick, because that's my new favorite color. So maybe we will start by stamping her bottom. Well, not her bottom, her lower half. Oh my goodness. Why should it be any different than coming to a regular class? I always say the wrong thing, it seems. All right. So you just line it up so that her body connects to the bottom of the skirt. And there she is. There she is. Okay, so the lovely lipstick is still open from my swap card. And this stamp comes in a set as well. It is the dress inside. There's all kinds of stuff that you can put. You can put like flowers going across, or you can put this inside her skirt. As well as they have this sign. I didn't make a card with the sign yet. Maybe when I get back. But for now, this makes it super duper easy. You just line it up and put it in the spot. Okay, so earlier I was watercoloring with this and I squeezed the ink pad. So I have a gully of ink in there, and I thought it would be good if she had shoes to match. What do you think? Oh, I went outside the lines. I'm so special. That's okay. Nobody's gonna care. They're not gonna look at my card and say, Oh my gosh, Celine went outside the lines. What kind of artist is she? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna just color around, and I'm gonna get rid of some of this color because there's an awful lot of color. Here, let's use that as a scrap. Now I can blend out some of that color so it looks more like watercolor instead of a straight color. And see all that color that we just stamped? I can take that and blend it as well. The color's all there, and this is water-based ink. So when you take a blender pen and just go over these lines, they're gonna fill in nicely. Oh, she's so cute already. Okay, so this is just what I have for adhesive. Let's see. How about if we start adding some color? Again, nobody's gonna know if I use the back side of the piece I just scribbled on. Oh, look, it goes outside the frame. Because this is 5.5, I should cut that off before I attach it to my card. I'll have to do it after because I don't have a pair of scissors handy. Here we go. I'm gonna put this one out here. So fun. I'm gonna put yellow on the way outside. And then there's another one that goes right there, so I can't forget to go back and do that. Here, let's do that. We'll do maybe this one next. Oh, I love it. And, oh, the green probably should have went first. Let's do the green. Then we'll put that blue. And then there's one more that goes right here. So on the first card that I was trying before I did this, I was thinking, I stamped a thank you on it, but this looks a little dark to me. So I was thinking maybe for this card, I would go with yellow. It'll really show up good. And I know I haven't left yet, but I miss you already. I'm such a dork, aren't I? That's all right. Dorky can be good in lots of applications. Oh, except when you forget to watercolor the shirt. Here, I'm gonna just open up my pad again and get some color on her shirt there. I did her arm and then I forgot to do her shirt. So you see how like it's really dark over there, and that by the time I ran over to this side I ran out of color? I think it looks awesome. So it goes dark to light. It looks like there's a light source on this side based on the way that we colored her shirt. So if we're gonna add any accents, we'll keep that in mind. I put some adhesive on the back of this, and then look, I love it. Okay. I was thinking something simple to finish this off. Ugh, I don't want stripes. Because with the stripes and the skirt are not the same stripes, I'm gonna go with this side. And we'll just lay this down. You can make your border as big or as small as you want. And again, this white is just 3 by 5.5. And it adds a little interest to that side. And I like leaving a little bit of a border over here too. So if you notice, my card, if you have like an edge on your card when you're doing this, always put the longer side in front so nobody will see that one side was longer, because I think it looks funny otherwise. Oh my gosh, so cute. And speaking of the chalk marker that we used on the Tufted folder, the light source we said was on this side. So instead of putting I've been putting the little marks. I did it with this one with Wink Estella. Let's go this side, and you just make like a little half moon C in the same spot on each balloon. Oh my gosh. So I miss you already. What do you think? Very cool. I don't want to pop that balloon by cutting the top off. I think I'm just going to leave it. So when you make yours, make sure that you stamp it down lower like I did on the first card. Too funny. All right, I'm going to flip the camera again. Here's your warning. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I am going to post my Proof special down below. If you decide that you're going to spend more than 50, almost 100, you may want to check out the starter kit because you get 10 free ink pads right now with the starter kit. It costs $99. There's free shipping, and you don't pay any sales tax. I mean, you pay sales tax. You don't pay shipping. Ha! Whew! Gotta be careful. I'm on camera. And then you get 10 free ink pads, and they let you pick a whole suite of them. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I really am going to miss you while I'm gone, and I have a whole bunch of things ready to post next week, and they may have something to do with this stamp set. So stay tuned for little tips and tricks, and thanks for hanging out with me today. And for those of you that are on my team, and for those of you that have purchased from me or just friends, just know that I am so very grateful to be able to do what I do as a job. And for that, I really am blessed and so grateful. And thank you. I'll see you on the flip side when I get back. Have a great day.